Today is late evening in Abaco, Bahamas. And the best news I've heard coming out of the cabinet of the Bahamas office since 2017 is that the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister is in self-quarantine. The Universal God has a way of spanking you, and they are being spanked by the Universal God for their deeds against Abaconians, Grand Bahamians, and indeed the Bahamas for their ill running of this country. The good news is that Bill Gates left that experimental drug with the Prime Minister when he left Nassau last week. The Universal God has made it so timely that now is the time for the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, and his cabinet to see if this drug actually works before trying it on the Bahamian population, voluntary or involuntary. Involuntary. We, the people of Abaco, would love to hear that this caring Prime Minister that has a heart, has a soul, is considering using lots of this drug. He's a doctor. He knows to administrate drugs. If Peter Turnquest don't, give Peter Turnquest a dose first. Mr. Prime Minister, since you don't trust it, try it on Peter Turnquest. Then try it on yourself. But by all means, while y'all are in self-quarantine, let's hope you're in quarantine for 2 weeks so that you can stay away from the television, because all you are and all you have been throughout this COVID-19 was a bearer of bad news. No solution. But maybe, just maybe your buddy Bill Gates have left the solution in Nassau with you for you to try it before you have it mandatorily tried on the population of the country. I think the Universal God is working through you, Mr. Prime Minister. Let us know. We want to hear a word from you in 2 weeks. Let us know, yay or nay, should we try this drug after you administered it to you and your deputy, Peter Turnquest. This is one of these lovely videos. All of Abaco is rejoicing. They're talking about contact tracing. Dr. Livingston Marshall bring over 100 Mexicans into Abaco and indeed Bakers Bay. There have been no contact tracing to date by the government in Bakers Bay, around Bakers Bay, since they know that there are over 30 cases of COVID-19 in Bakers Bay, thanks to this Prime Minister, the most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Dr. Livingston Marshall. Thank you all. But again, this is timely. The Mexican government is not here. Let's test Bill Gates drugs on these Mexicans. That's 100 of them out there. Let's stick them. They can't say nothing. They don't know what we're doing. Line them up, stick them like how they used to do the blacks in the plantation. Pull their pants down and stick them in the bungie. Leave the needle in the bungie. Go down the line, then take it back out. Let's use this exercise on those cheap labor that Dr. Livingston Marshall brought in there. It's a good time to stick them in the behind and test the drug on them. But by all means, let's start with the incompetent authority, the Right Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and his deputy, Peter Turnquest. By all means, let's start these drugs on y'all two goons first. Then, that will be a good look. I am rejoicing in my soul to know that they are feeling some pain that what Abaco has felt. And I hope to God that they do have COVID-19 and that they do use the good buddy Bill Gates drugs on themselves. It's a good video. It's one of these Kai cares, and we want to know if the Prime Minister cares to use Bill Gates drugs on him, his cabinet, and his deputy. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank God for the universal God that is looking over Bahamians, because this Prime Minister don't give a hell about nobody but the oligarchy and his greed. Maybe COVID-19 will wake him up. You're live with Kai in Abaco as I rejoice that the Prime Minister is going to use Bill Gates drugs on himself and the Deputy Prime Minister. And in 2 weeks, they will let the Bahamian people know whether it's a nay or a yay. Kai cares. You're live with Kai in Abaco.